What's up, Midwest Gaming Classic 2022?
Yeah, we're so excited. We love here at the Dogcast. Yeah, you guys are great.
Is it too much for like almost midday on Sunday? I'm sorry, I apologize.
You can be whoever you want to be, Tom.
But
this
you
is
know,
an accepting zone.
Brad, do you know what's not too much?
No, I don't know the.
Our next guest.
Oh my gosh,
That's
I'm
right.
excited.
A local boy from Milwaukee.
Yes,
Is that
very
true?
local. Yes.
We have Jonathan Concepcion, an independent developer, correct?
An incredibly successfell independent developer.
Successful indie developer that is making myself known. So
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the game.
Yes. So I developed a game called OneBit Adventure. It's a free-to-play retro roguelike adventure game where you choose a character class and you go on this procedurally generated adventure all the way upwards. Now, this game was primarily released on mobile devices on Google Play and App Store. So a lot of it is a portrait style, going up and just fighting epic rogue monsters and leveling up and getting these new skills. And it's just an amazing throwback to the good old days.
I did download it after we chatted this morning, and I did play a couple minutes of it, and it was really easy to jump into, and it controls really well.
Yeah.
The combat. I have an iPhone, so just the combat was very satisfying. The flicking around into the enemies of your avatar.
Yeah, I really wanted to make it user-friendly in a way that you could just jump in, sit on a couch, and just, go endless hours just playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a flick of a hand and you're moving and you're attacking, and eventually you get into it more and you start learning these active skills, but it really is a fun and easy experience.
Is this your first project?
So this is my first public project. Now, OneBit Adventure, it feels like really professionally done, but I have done a lot of mini projects before, but as with many developers, it's always like, oh, let's make this giant, big experience, and then all of a sudden, you're stuck with a project that's half broken and you just quit on it. So
this is your first project that you had released?
Yes. First project that's publicly released, and I would say a lot of this would never have been done if I hurt myself overworking at a retail job. So that kind of pushed me to all right, I need to take this more seriously, plan it ahead, and start simple.
Sure.
And OneBit was born. So
I think a lot of people spend many years of their lives trying to be successful developers, and you make it sound very casual and like a fun experience, which is very, it's nice to hear that.
There's a lot of optimism in your voice is what we're trying to say. Not the beaten down development, I
did 30 hours today.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I did 13 hours of crunch in the last 3 hours. How long ago did you start actually just developing? When did you start getting into the hobby, or when did the hobby turn into?
Yeah, it was in March of 2019 that I initially started the project.
Yeah.
And
were you always into developing or homebrew, just personal programming, or?
Yeah, it was more of a.
Around?
So I should trace back. I actually went to college at ITT Tech.
Okay.
And the whole purpose of that was to get a degree in game design. That flopped. It did not work so well because we didn't get a job in our industry, and the industry was always like, well, you need to travel all the way to California or New York if you want a job. And that was the main reason why I quit doing the game design and just was like, working full-time, retail, why not? I'm making money. But in terms of making the game and the progress, it was really just, all right, I need to get down to watching a whole bunch of videos. I knew about game design, but the software that I use was really outdated. Okay. So I got into Unity, which 90% of mobile developers actually use Unity because it's really easy to work with, and there's so many tutorials out there. But it was endless hours of watching videos. Oh, let me try this. Okay, wow, it actually is working like that. And throughout the years, it got to that point where I was like, I feel really comfortable with this. And you're grinding out hours, staring at the screen, typing away, but then eventually when it does click, it really feels really good. And then you start to learn, trial and error, what works and what doesn't work.
Sure. Were you always a fan of roguelikes?
Yeah. Actually, I would say the first roguelike that I actually got into was Pixel Dungeon. Now, Pixel Dungeon is available on mobile devices and also on, I believe, a web browser. But I played it on mobile, and that was my favorite roguelike per se. Then eventually got into other games, and I think the most one I played was Hades. That was extremely addictive one.
You're talking to the right people.
I fell in love with that game this year for the first time. That's my first roguelike experience where I get it.
Yeah.
It's the only one that I actually enjoyed, or up to that point where I'm like, I can go back and play this multiple times and feel like I'm still, making progress. It feels good.
Yeah, so definitely that was, and I think a core aspect of my childhood was playing RPG games, and roguelike actually fits into that category. In a way, it's like, you don't see it as much as the old JRPG style, and so I wanted to combine that with a roguelike, but that's simple, turn-based, and it just clicked. As soon as I got the assets together and made the game, I was like, wow, this is really something I could be playing a lot.
Once you got the game together, how easy or how difficult the process of actually publishing it up to the AppStores?
Do you just go to Apple Store and hit upload and boom, you sold 1 million?
Yeah. I wish it was like that. There's a lot of due process and due diligence. Most of your development will work on the PC just fine, and everything goes great. But then once you make a build, then you submit it to, the App Store. You have them review it, but then ends up being this error where, my character is going through this obstacle, none of my damage are working. So it becomes a point where you go back to Unity, look at what you did
these
wrong.
people actually play these games?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
I've downloaded things where nobody's played these at all, including the people who made the games. So that's actually surprising to me. Wow, that's crazy.
So I mean, very much in the beginning was due process. Mainly me, my brother, and a friend of mine that would grab our phones out and start testing and see how it worked.
Like a built-in QA team. That's nice. Yeah. Did you buy them beer or pizza for their trouble?
Sometimes, I guess it depends. I was living on the edge at that time, so I was like, "You want to sneak $1 just to buy something? Because I'm kind of hungry."
And the game has been very popular.
Yes.
Right?
So OneBit Adventure has been from the start. It was there was one player playing every day. Then it was 5, and then one day Apple decided to feature it as App of the Day, and it just exploded.
Did they give you a heads up, or is
no? That's the one thing. Apple is just silent. One day
they were just somebody actually put effort into this. Let's promote it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a clicker.
And that's the one thing I love about the App Store is they actually do look at your app. They rank your app based off of what you have, and they actually look at it very carefully. I haven't had much success in Google Play, but not to shame them or anything like that. They have their own functions. But just getting reviewed, a friend of mine's had to actually call me and say, "Hey, your game is on App of the Day." And I'm just like, "What?" I got no email from Apple. I was like, well then, thank you.
That had to be just...
You go out, you buy yourself a nice whiskey, or you go get a very fancy cocktail that day?
Yeah, I celebrated hard that day.
Absolutely. That just had to be a jolt of oh my gosh.
And so throughout the process, it happens a lot where there's this huge spike of players and it dies down. And it's understandable. For when I launched it, it was very bare bones. It was raw. It was not enough content. You couldn't even equip a weapon. There was no weapons.
Oh, really?
At all.
Okay.
And only 4 skills. But throughout the years and building a community on Discord is when it eventually grew and evolved. And then Apple was like, we'll feature it again. Oh, now we see that you've built this fan base and everyone's starting to love it even more and more. Here's more spotlight. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But hard work, dedication really paid off.
Are you still doing updates and
Yes.
constantly adding things to the game?
Yeah, so it's been more of a process of adding things that the community wants. So another instance was people wanted more character builds, new classes. So last year we went ahead and added a thief class and an archer class, and they had their own skill set. So really it was about pleasing the audience and getting more and more into it. So
it's
I'm
constantly evolving
to keep going.
as opposed to coming out with like sequels.
Yes.
It's just
so yeah, it's very well like an evolution of OneBit. And so now it's getting to the point where now you have story mode. You can actually interact with different NPCs and start to really get into the lore of OneBit. So I per se wanted to keep going and see when it plateaus is really the point of where I'm like, all right, I'm ready for the next game, but I know to start simple. So.
Sure, yeah.
And with the idea of OneBit, I wanted to go into the Steam marketplace. And so I am planning to release on Steam sometime in the beginning of August. And this intention is just really just... it's a lot of build-up, but it's a lot of preparation, but it's been fun.
Email Gabe Newell? Just let him know?
Yeah.
Make sure it features his app of the day when it gets uploaded?
Yeah, I'm emailing... Yeah.
Would you be interested in getting physical editions of the game released?
That's the tough part. I actually have to research more of the due process of getting a physical copy.
We know a guy.
Yeah?
We do. Yes.
I will need to talk to that guy.
Yeah. I think if you have a community that's as engaged and devoted as yours, I'm sure many people, if you were to get it on like the Switch store or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Switch denied me. I think it might be my...
We denied them. Let's say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll go with that. Cut that part.
Have any other developers reached out to you to praise your game or give you constructive feedback at all?
I believe it was in my Twitter account that I believe there was a developer from Warhammer that really loved the game, and he was like, there's some suggestions here, but he was like, I completely fell in love with it. There was also another employee at PUBG when we went to a conference. They loved the game, and it was like one of those blessings where like, wow, these people that work
You're
with
the OneBit Adventure
big titles, it's like, wow, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Like, who would have thought? Like one day this simple game would just reach out to a lot of different talented people and just supporting one another. That's definitely encouragement goes a long way when it comes to being an indie developer.
What has your experience been like here at MGC?
It's been really fun. As far as like
talking with other developers, like getting to bump elbows with some of the other cool people in the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're Milwaukee, which is really cool. It's great seeing local friends making great games and really great podcasts.
Local podcasts with local friends, local developers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Everything local.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a question. I forgot what it was.
Well, so OneBit Adventure, are we going to be continuing to do updates with this for the foreseeable future? Do you have a 2-bit quest in your back pocket?
So I am, that would be nice, but I am so the plan for OneBit is to maybe give it one more year of just adding a bunch of new things to it, along with updating content, and then working on the second game called Dungeon Agreed, which in aspect, it's a sequel, but it has a different style to it. It's still turn-based. It still has a dungeon crawl feel to it. But it's planning to 1 year of OneBit, and then trying to see what that second game would be like.
Yeah. So outside of the family and friend QA test team, you're primarily a one-man shop?
So I did develop the game all by myself, but I did have a friend do the artwork.
Okay.
Over time, I did have commission people, and that was thanks to the spotlights and getting everything together. It's like, well, now I can reinvest this onto the game. I am strictly a programmer. I cannot draw a circle and make it look pretty. That's one thing's for sure.
One of our co-hosts does really great art. If you wanted to have someone do maybe some concept art or something to pair with your game, that'd be, I mean, this is a good opportunity to meet people. That'd be interesting.
And I did meet a couple of people and getting their social links and everything like that. But yeah, I am open to learning and connecting with other designers as well.
We're taking over the world with this game.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
1-bit is going everywhere.
1 bit at a time.
No, the game did really feel fantastic when I was playing it. So, yeah, I'm glad you reached out to us, and I'm glad you were able to come up here and talk about the game. So, do you plan on expanding the development team in the future?
In the foreseeable future, I actually feel that if okay, excuse me, one second.
Yeah.
Foreseeable future, I feel like that the sequel to 1-Bit Adventure should have a team. Currently, my code is spaghetti, so I would feel offended if another programmer came in and was like, "What is this code?
Yes. Right.
Why is A not equaling A?" And
that's when you say,
all sorts of
"Screw
stuff.
you, man.
Yes.
It works." Okay.
Exactly.
How many apps have you sold? That's what I thought.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, the plan is to grow. I formed the company Galactic Slice, and I want people to know that yes, it is a company. I want to build a foundation, and for the next game to be built off as a team as opposed to just me.
Gotcha. Well, excellent. Well, Jonathan, thank you very much for coming on the Dogcast.
This has been a real joy.
It is a joy to have developers on, but it's really special to have a local developer on. Honestly, it means a lot to us, and all the best success to you in the future, and best of luck.
Congrats, and I'm excited to go home and play this.
Yeah. And
thanks for having me here. Yeah,
I hope you never have to work retail again, because that's just awful.
Oh yes,
That's the dream for everyone.
I did quit last year, December, so I am full-time indie dev.
Well, congrats, man.
Nice.
You are a winner.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. This has been John Concepcion. Go check out 1-Bit Adventure on your app store of choice, and look for it at Steam in August.
Yeah. Wish listed today. It's there.
It's boom. Do it. All right. This has been the bonus stage at Midwest Gaming Classic 2022. We've been here at the Dogcast. We'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Well, thanks.
Bye.